Hello, welcome to EEA. That's Evolutionary Earth Astrology. My name is Zipporah, and we're just almost at the end of Leo season. And this is the Leo in the Brain video. And just being a Leo rising myself, actually, I have South Node in Leo. I'm very excited about this Leo energy. I have a surprise for you guys that I will announce in the middle. So because I've been working on what I call a visual guidebook for the 12 zodiac signs. So that's why I'm almost at the end of Leo and I'm just now getting this video done. But I wanted to match Leo. So got the tiger print going or the animal print and the hair. So anyway, hopefully you guys have watched the other video series, which is I did an introduction video. I did Aries. I did Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer in the brain. So now we are here at Leo. So I want you to please go back and catch up on those videos and then come back here. I'm excited to dive into Leo because, like I said, I am a Leo, a South Node in Leo rising, and I do have Neptune in the fifth house. So I definitely resonate with this energy, but I'm excited to show you and prove to you that I have found the astrological symbol, not only of the other, all 12, but now we're going to get to Leo and find out what they are. So go ahead and grab a pen and a paper. I'm going to share my screen, and yeah, we're going to get started. All right. So here's my presentation here, which is Leo in the brain. Okay, we have the glyph, which we will explain all that in a minute. So let's just go on ahead and get to the next slide. Okay, so everything in astrology has been pointing to mankind, man's connection to the universe, and all that is. Okay, so we have the Leo glyph here. And if you're not familiar with astrology, every zodiac sign, which there's 12, has what they call a glyph and a motto. So I'm going to read what a glyph is so you can understand. And so a glyph is a symbolic figure or character used to represent a concept, form, or structure. Okay, and in this presentation, since it has to do with the brain, there are structures in the brain. We're going to focus more on this word structure for a glyph. So again, a glyph is a symbolic figure or character used to represent a concept. So it is a symbolic figure that represents a structure. Okay, so here's the Leo glyph. There's a structure in the brain that is representing this glyph, and we're going to go and show it to you. Okay, a symbol is something that stands for or represents something deeper, often abstract. Excuse me, let me move this because I accidentally. Okay, so a symbol is something that stands for or represents something deeper, often abstract or unseen. Okay, so again, we got these glyphs and symbols. They can be interchangeable. It's representing something deeper, something abstract. So like this Leo symbol here, this is abstract. You don't really, looking at it, you don't really know what it means, right? It's representing something deeper or something that's unseen. Well, most of us haven't gone into the brain, so it's not really seen, but I went in there and found it. So anyway, a motto is a short phrase that expresses the guiding principle or the core expression of something. So it's a short phrase that expresses the guiding principle or the core expression of something. So I will is the motto for Leo, and it's a guiding principle or a core expression of something. Okay, so now that you have the definitions of a glyph and know what it is, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so this is the structures that we're going to be studying. See this glyph over here? It's a circle, and then this loop, and then this little hook at the end. Okay, I don't know. Sometimes I'm using Zoom, and I have this big yellow pointer, but sometimes I'm pointing at it, and then when I play the video back, it's not capturing that. So I'll probably have to go in later and add some arrows into it if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. So over here to this picture, I'm saying that this thing right here, it's yellow. If we follow this black line, that is the amygdala. That is the amygdala. To me, the amygdala looks like the circle on the Leo glyph. So, and then we see that there's something coming out of it that looks like a rope, and it loops around and then it hooks. Well, if you look at this purple thing here coming out of the amygdala, do you see this little purple string? See how that's looping around just like the Leo glyph? And then here's this hook at the end. But let me give you the name of this little purple thing. It's called the Stria Terminalis. Okay? And then there's the end of the hook going into, if we go over here to the left, we see the Stria Terminalis to the hypothalamus. So this hook is going into something, which it's, according to this thing here, it's going and hooking into the hypothalamus. So I think it looks like that, but we're going to go to the next slide because I had ChatGPT make up something for me. But I went and like zoomed into it so you can see it better. Again, if you look over to the left, the Leo glyph has this circle. This circle looks like the amygdala to me. Look over here. See this yellow thing? That looks like the circle of the Leo glyph. Okay, and then we have this rope-looking thing that's looping and then coming into a hook. Follow the Stria Terminalis, which is this purple rope-looking string, and it's circling around and a hook at the end going into the hypothalamus. Now, if you can't see that, I don't know what's wrong with your eyes, but I had ChatGPT turn this around for me, like rotate it so it can look just like the glyph in case you still just don't see it. And of course, I went through hell trying to get ChatGPT to make this thing. It kept making it wrong. We went back through about 20 different takes. And finally, I just said, look, let's just settle on this. I'm not going to show you the goofy stuff it drew. But anyway, again, this is the amygdala in the brain. So this is a recreation through ChatGPT of what the image that you guys saw before. But you see this loop of the Leo glyph, that looks like the amygdala to me. And then if you look at this glyph, you see how a rope is coming out of it and curving around and then hooking. Okay, that's the Stria Terminalis that's coming out of the amygdala, looping around and going into this blue ball looking thing, which leads to the hypothalamic region. Now, I went through all this work to get ChatGPT to twirl us around so it can be facing in the same direction so that you can really see that it looks like the glyph. And I hope you do. I hope you do. For those who do, let's move on. I have great news. I created a free Leo visual study guide to go along with my Leo in the Brain video. After I finished recording the Leo lesson, I realized there was something really important that I didn't talk about in the video. Then I remembered, it's the visual study guide. That's important because evolutionary Earth astrology isn't just asking, where is Leo in the brain? I also want you to understand, what is Leo doing there? What is its function? Because function can help us understand the purpose behind the behavior, why we act the way we do. The visual guide gives you a simple way to see the anatomy, the function, and the meaning behind the motto all together. And the best part is, it's free. You can download the Leo Visual Study Guide using the link in the description box below. Keep it with you while you watch the Leo in the Brain video. Use it to study the structures for yourself. And most importantly, don't just memorize Leo as a personality. Start thinking about Leo as a function. Meaning, if you're a Leo, whether a Leo sun or a Leo rising, you do this because of this. Because if Leo is in the human brain, what is Leo there to do? I'll see you in the next Zodiac in the Brain lesson. Bye. So, hopefully I proved to you that Leo glyph and symbol is pointing to the amygdala, the stria terminalis, and terminating into the hypothalamus. So let's go and see what the amygdala is. So the amygdala, the lion within. So the amygdala helps the brain rapidly evaluate the emotional and social significance of people and situation. The amygdala processes emotion and drives instinctual responses, but it also reads faces. It detects emotions like fear, anger, happiness, surprise, disgust. It helps answer, is this person friendly and can I trust them? Okay. And that is very, very important for a lion and in its world. That's why loyalty and trust is so important to a lion. It has to rely on whether you friend or foe, whether you part of the pride or not. Social rank. It also evaluates social rank. It evaluates dominance and status to guide whether to approach, avoid, challenge, or follow. That is definitely lions and their pride. They definitely are about dominance. They are definitely about status. To determine even within their own pride who's the leader, who has the dominance, who should I approach this prey that I'm chasing? Do I follow this person? So it helps navigate social hierarchy. And that is very important in a lion pride. You know, who's the king, who's the queen, who's the leader, who should, who follow and who has the, what it takes to lead a pride and what role and social rank. It is so important. Okay, so eye contact. The amygdala also draws attention to the eyes, revealing powerful emotional and social information. Okay. The amygdala also responds to rewards, opportunities, and meaningful events. It asks, how important is this? Okay. And also courage doesn't remove fear. It helps us act despite it. Courage is responding even when fear is present. Okay. So it says here the lion connection. Leo is the sign of presence, confidence, and leadership. The amygdala helps us to read the room, recognize what matters, and respond with intention. It is the spark that ignites action. Okay? The amygdala is the spark that ignites action. Okay? So the lion, when it's getting ready to decide whether it's going to go after this prey or not, it's evaluating things. Is this, worth the effort that I need to spend on it? Should I chase this or leave it alone? So, and then I will, the first etymology, it really means, later on, even when I was having this discussion with ChatGPT, when we was doing the research, I was having it help me research to prove what I thought I was seeing. It kept using I will as determination. But when I went back and gave it the etymology, the meaning before it changed once, English and, got its hands on it, etymology goes back and looks at the original language and what words meant and at certain time periods. So it meant to wish, to desire, to be about to commit my will to what matters. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, so let's learn about the Stria Terminalis. That's that purple thing that we saw. Okay, it's the lion's pathway. So the Stria Terminalis is the emotional highway that connects the amygdala to the hypothalamic region. Okay, so it's basically like a wire that connects the amygdala to to the other parts of the brain. Okay, so it carries emotional signals. It transports information from the amygdala about what is important threatening, or rewarding. It builds the bridge to action. It connects raw emotional evaluation to the hypothalamus, where feelings becomes responses and decisions. It supports motivation and will. It helps turn emotion into drive, fueling desire, courage, and the commitment to act. It amplifies what matters. It strengthens the message. This is important. Do something about it. Okay. So it helps guide social and survival responses. It helps to determine when to approach, protect, lead, or stand ground. Okay. So the lion connection, the Stria Terminalis is the link between feeling and will. It carries the amygdala's emotional message to the hypothalamus, where the body prepares to act. And this thing is covering up. I wonder if I can move this because I can't even read what's at the bottom because it's covering it up. Anyway, it prepares to act with, I don't know because I can't see it and I don't know how to move it. And I don't want to hold the presentation up because I can't see a few words. Okay, so I'm going to go to the hypothalamic regions, which is the lion's destination. Okay, so the Stria Terminalis carries the amygdala's message to the hypothalamus, where feelings become responses and will becomes action. And I remember when I was doing the research with ChatGPT, it came up with follow the signal, and I thought that was cool. The Stria Terminalis branches throughout the hypothalamus, activating key centers that mobilize the body, drive behavior, and commit our will to action. So I just want to say this real quick, that you have to watch the Aries video because I don't want people to think that I'm just using ChatGPT and it's coming up with this. No, this all began when I saw the Amon's horn. And so I'm like, if Aries is in the brain, then where the other 11, they got to be there too. So I began doing research and pulling images up. So I'm giving what I believe is that, because if I went to ChatGPT, it's just going to bring up everything that's in astrology that we already know. And I'm like, no, I'm seeing this. So I need you to go and find the information, gather the information, and we're going to, bring this. And, I'm not saying this is it, but this certainly looks like this. And let's go see if we can find. So it basically went and did the research for me, and we put things together. But this is the information that has just been flowing through me. So anyway, so the Stria Terminalis carries the amygdala's message to the hypothalamus, where feelings become responses and will becomes action. So the major hypothalamic targets, the Stria Terminalis branches to several hypothalamic nuclei. So once it's inside that hypothalamus, that purple thing, once it's inside, if you look at this image over here that ChatGPT created, it breaks off into these different branches that go to these different things. So we tried to find the thing that was in the hypothalamus that could connect the model I will function through these different things. So this is what we came up with. So the medial preoptic area. And so its primary function is sexual behavior, parental behavior, social behaviors. And so we tried to narrow down the different things that the Stria Terminalis connected to within the hypothalamus. And then we gave it stars to determine, because I've always just went with three structures. But once I got to Cancer, I realized that there's more than three structures that, because there's like a, what do you call it? There's like a circuitry, but I wanted to first just prove what we're seeing in the glyph. And so we would narrow it down to three, and every last zodiac sign that we did, I narrowed it down to three. So we just began going through to the different ones. And then we decided the third one is just going to be the ventromedial hypothalamic nucleus, because it sounded most like what brain structure functions is related to the motto "I will." And so, but the anterior hypothalamic nucleus is the autonomic regulation, aggression, and thermoregulation. I'm like, all of these, because if you think about a lion's pride, even when I read the medial preoptic area, lions deal with parenting. They raise cubs. They group together in a social group called a pride. So social behaviors, all that stuff is very important. But we decided to name the third one the ventromedial hypothalamic nucleus, because its primary function is defense, dominance, aggression, reproductive behavior, and social hierarchy. So bingo, this is the one. So we're going to go with the ventromedial hypothalamic nucleus, because lions are all about defending territory, dominance, aggression, reproductive behavior. They're mating and, having cubs, and social hierarchy. So, this one was like, yeah, this is the one. Okay, so the ventromedial hypothalamus is a major target of the Stria Terminalis, extensively linked to dominance, territorial behavior, and we know lions are definitely about territory, defense, reproductive success, and social hierarchy. These are the very qualities symbolized by the lion. The VMH deserves a top place in our Leo research. That's right. We gave it the top place, as I explained to you guys. So the lion's call to action. The hypothalamus takes the message of importance and decides what to do with it. Okay. So it organizes behavior. It mobilizes energy. It commits the will. Okay. So you feel it coming from Cancer. Cancer is about feeling. Go back to that video. So the amygdala helps you highlight those feelings of what's important. Then you choose it, and then you do it. Okay? You have the will, the desire, and then the commitment. And we know one of the most determined animals there is the lion. I will do this. So Leo means lions. I just wanted to make sure you guys know that. The amygdala, Stria Terminalis, and hypothalamic regions work together to help us evaluate, decide, and act with purpose. Okay. So this also explains something about lions. When people think of lions, they often think of dominance, but what makes a lion remarkable isn't constant aggression. Okay. So a lion watches. The amygdala scans the environment and reads the emotional and social signal. Evaluates. It judges what matters: opportunity, threat, reward, or challenge. And then the lion decides whether the prey is worth chasing. Signals travel through the Stria Terminalis to the hypothalamus, where the body chooses a direction. And then once the lion decides whether this is worth chasing, it does its evaluation and it decides, yes, this is worth it. Then it commits to the chase. The hypothalamus activates the body. Energy rises, focus locks in, and intent becomes action. And then it pursues. The body moves with power, precision, and purpose until the goal is reached. That is the lion. I absolutely know this energy. Like I said, I am a South Node in Leo rising. And man, I got a lot of asteroids in Leo. So I'm a Scorpio sun. I'm a Scorpio stellium. I'll explain what that is later on. But your rising sign, especially since mine has the South Node in it, that's like your past life moon, basically. And my grandmother was a Leo moon, so I guess I got it from her. You come into this life with those same talents, memories, etc. So I am very, very, very connected to Leo energy, even the way that I wear my hair, the way I dress, all of it. So, yeah, it's not just a mask. It is your memories, your past. It's in my case, my past life memories with the South Node being there that I'm bringing into this life. So how these structures support the lion within: amygdala detects what is important, emotion, faces, status, opportunity, threat. It asks, is this worth my energy? The Stria Terminalis is the pathway that carries the message from the amygdala to the hypothalamus. It connects feeling to direction. And the hypothalamic regions receive the message and organizes the appropriate response, mobilizing energy, instincts, and behavior to act. This is where will becomes motion. The lion's will in action. The lion within us does not rush. It observes, it chooses, it commits. And when it moves with purpose. Absolutely. It just ain't out there running around for nothing. It's counting up the cost. It's evaluating. The lion evaluates everything. I want this prey. But of course, the prey is running away from me. So now I know I have to expend a lot of energy on this pursuit. So I'm going to count up the cost. I'm going to evaluate, is this worth the energy that I need to expend? And once it decides, nothing can get the lion off of his purpose of what it's pursuing. And that is definitely the truth. Me testifying as a South Node and Leo rising. Okay, so the true meaning of will. Will is more than a decision. It is the full sequence of seeing clearly, evaluating wisely, choosing purposefully, acting powerfully. This is Leo. This is the lion within. Okay, so we're going to get ready to close things out. And I'm just going to recap. Today, we discovered that Leo is more than confidence, pride, or leadership. At its core, Leo is about will, the desire to act on what truly matters. We followed the signal from the amygdala, where emotionally significant people and situations are recognized, through the Stria Terminalis, where those feelings become motivation, behavior, and purposeful action. Like a lion, we don't charge into every situation. We watch, we evaluate, we decide what is worth our energy. Then, with purpose, we commit and pursue. Whether this anatomical resemblance ultimately proves to be more than symbolic, one thing is clear. The Leo glyph beautifully mirrors a pathway that transforms emotional significance into action. The journey continues. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves astrology, neuroscience, or both. Be sure to visit the Zodiac in the Brain playlist to watch the series from the beginning and see how each zodiac sign builds on the last. And don't you dare forget to download the free Evolutionary Earth Astrology Visual Guide for Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. The link is waiting for you in the description box below. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. The next video will be Virgo in the Brain. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.